Okay, this evening I would like to share with you a specific strategy that's relatively easy to do that will help you build trust on your website. And this specific strategy is it's something that we've been doing for our website clients, our customers who have a website. But the reason I want to stress it or share it with you tonight is because not too long ago, I shared a post on Instagram of a website that we had just launched. And one of my customers wrote in the comment section, he said, "Looks great." He said, "Remember to keep pushing people to fill out their About the Builder page, because I just picked up 2 jobs this week as a direct result of people visiting my Meet the Builder page." And that was a few months ago. And so just this last week, I messaged him and I said, tell me some numbers of what the results are, because you have a Meet the Builder page on your website. And so he told me that he has done 6 figures of work, a few $100,000 worth of work this year as a result of people visiting not only his website, but his Meet the Builder page or Meet the Owner page, whichever, you want to use on your website. So what I want to do this evening is talk to you about that. I want to share with you why it works, and then give you specific steps or insights into how to construct or build a Meet the Builder page, a Meet the Owner page, so that it helps build trust, so that when people are doing their research about you and your company, they'll want to hire you. Hackman says hi. HH Progressive says hi. I want to say hi to you guys. After we get done, we can discuss this and have question and answer. I'm just going to be busting through these points here. So, why you need to Meet the Owner page. First thing I want to say is that this is not your About page. When we design websites, we prefer flat design or a long scrolling homepage. And recently I did an Instagram live session where I explained why we like long scrolling homepages. Now, at the top of your homepage, you should have an introduction, like, this is who we are, and we're here to make your dream come true, whether that's a remodel, whether that's a new home, whether that's a landscape design, whatever it is you do, you want to introduce that at the beginning. And then the very next section, as people scroll down, is where I like to put the About section. The About section is not about you per se. It's about you and your company in a nutshell. So just on that About section on your homepage, you just want to kind of go over what your company does. Some like how long you've been in business, and just general facts about you and your company and how that relates to the customer. But that's not what I'm talking about tonight. I draw a distinction between your About section and your Meet the Owner page, your Meet the Builder page. So we actually have that section, About section, and then a link at the bottom of that section that says Meet the Owner, or up in the menu bar, you can hover your mouse over the About tab, and Meet the Owner tab will pop up below, and you can click on that, and that will take you to the Meet the Owner or the Meet the Builder page. And now this is where the magic happens. Okay, the second point, or the second reason to have a Meet the Owner page, is it builds trust. You guys know how important it is to build trust. I mean, that's the whole point of a website, is there are homeowners out there they're actively looking for help on their home, Whether it's a new home they want built, or a remodel that they want built or done, or a landscape design that they want to beautify the outdoors so they can live out there and enjoy it. They're wanting it done, and perhaps most likely they have the money to do it. So that's not the issue. The desire and the money's not the issue. The issue is, who can I trust that will help me get this done? So that's where the internet comes into play. They want to visit your website and they want to determine whether they can trust you or not. So if you have a website that is very generic and very cool, like, it's kind of like when you go up to a meet and greet, or you're meeting people at a networking party, and somebody is really warm and talks with you, and you begin sharing stories with each other. A bond takes place and you begin to trust that person. But when you walk up to somebody and they're like, hi, or you're like, hi, and they're like, hi, and you're like, how's it going? What's your name? And they're like, Martin Holsinger. Fine. And you get that cold shoulder feeling like, this person doesn't really want to talk to me. And as a result, you don't really know whether you can even trust that person, because they're kind of, giving you that feeling. And that's how some websites are. You go to them and there's nothing personal. There's no personal interaction on the website. It's just all corporate mumbo jumbo, copy and paste paragraphs that are put on this web page, and they can say, now I've got a website. But that doesn't build trust. What builds trust is speaking to someone and letting them inside your world enough to where they can see who you are, and how they can see who you are and how that relates to their desire. Okay? And that's where the magic takes place. So the Meet the Owner page, the Meet the Builder page, is designed to do that. It's designed to help build trust in the mind of a homeowner when they come to your website. And the last reason that I think a Meet the Owner page is so important is that a client wants to know who the owner is. And I am almost 100% certain that every one of you listening to this lesson tonight would agree that when you go to a website on a service-based business, you would like to know who the owner is, and you would like to know a little bit about them. That's how I am, at least. I'm sure I'm not alone. But it's important that you give people a little glimpse into who you are. That's where we're at these days. Millennials, everyone that's used to the internet, that is using the internet, expects transparency and vulnerability. That's why Instagram Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, that's why this revolution is taking place, where people are showing selfies and telling stories online about what they're doing throughout the day. It's the transparency generation. It's the generation of people that think you should just be real in front of the camera. So I believe that your website should be that way too. Now, you don't have to be so real that you're no good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about sharing all your issues and struggles and problems. I'm talking about just being real. Hi, Jim. Good evening. So, Meet the Owner page. Why it's important. Number one, it's not your about page. Number two, it builds trust. And number three, a client wants to know who the owner is. Now, what I want to do for the rest of this time is teach you how to write your Meet the Owner page so that it is effective in building and telling your story and building trust in the mind of the prospect. The first thing you want to do on your Meet the Owner page is define your client's need. And you say, Martin, that's not a Meet the Owner. That's not about me. That's about them. And you're exactly right. The first thing you should do is you should you should start by talking about them. Define the need of the client. I'm looking at an example right here of a website, and it happens to be a landscape company, and the Meet the Owner page starts off like this, and he says, "Are you interested in unplugging from the world, relaxing and enjoying your outdoors? Well, you've come to the right place." If you own your own home and you have some property, who does that not speak to? I mean, that speaks to every one of us, right? If we own our own home and we have our own property, don't we want to enjoy the outdoors? Don't we want to be able to go outside of our own home and relax and enjoy the world around us? So anyway, he spoke directly to the need of the customer coming to his website on this Meet the Owner page. Okay? Now, it doesn't have to be real long-winded. It's just that initial sentence says, okay, I'm in the right spot. That is definitely what I'm interested in. I want to unplug from the world. I want to relax, and I want to enjoy the outdoors. He goes on and he says, as our lives become ever more consumed by technology and information, it is becoming increasingly important to find time for yourself to unwind and reconnect with nature. We know that there's a lot of hard work and planning that goes into making your outdoor dreams a reality. That is where we specialize, turning your dreams into reality. Now, you see how he's shifting here from them and their dream to who we are? He goes on, says Southside Hardscape and Landscape Company specializes in premier outdoor living. When you entrust someone with transforming your outdoor living area, you want to make sure you've hired the right professional. That is why I want to take a moment to introduce myself and my family. We want you to have full confidence in us and our abilities before we ever begin the process of design and build. I am Joe Wilkerson, owner and manager of Southside Hardscape and Landscape. Now, he shifts and he starts talking about his childhood and family. But the first point on how to do this is, I got my notes here. Define your client's need. Point number one, define your client's need. Define their need. Point number two, get on your client's level. So point number one, define their need. They need a space outdoors that they can enjoy. Number two, get on their level. Okay, he says, we all want a place to unwind and relax. We all do. He's saying, I get that. I also am a person who knows what it's like to have a home, and I want a place where I can unwind and relax and enjoy nature. So we're all human, and to some extent, we share the same basic desires. And so you need to think that through. If you're a home builder, if you're a home remodeler, if you are a landscaper, whatever it is that your service does and the solutions that you provide, the dreams that you fulfill, think that through. And then I want you to think about yourself and how you can relate to those desires that your clients have. And that's where you get on their level. The third step on the Meet the Owner page is to fulfill your client's need. So step number one, define their need. Step number two, get on their level. And step number three is to fulfill their need. He says, my company and I specialize in premier outdoor living. Did he say we do it all? We do, everything. We do roofing, we do sheds, we build houses, we do remodels, and we do landscaping, and we do irrigation. He didn't say we do it all. He said we specialize in premier outdoor living. That speaks specifically to someone who wants exactly what he's providing. And that's what makes this page so powerful, is he knows who his client is. He knows what their dreams and desires are. He now relates to that, and he tells them that's what we specialize in. And that's just step number 3. Step number 4 is to introduce yourself and offer personal details. So he goes on and he says, if you're going to trust someone to transform your outdoor living space, you want to make sure that you've hired the right professional. And that's why I want to take a moment and introduce myself and my family to you. So he goes on and he talks about his family, some of the dreams that they have, some of the struggles. He says here, it's often said, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. And then he says, I'm sure that he's had plenty of good laughs at some of my best and worst laid plans. Life is full of the unexpected. And while I have definitely had my fair share of the unexpected, I've always found there was character building moment or lesson to be learned in all of life's detours. He goes on, he talks about his marriage, his passion. It has always remained in the outdoors. So he connects his own personal passions with the outdoors, which is so important. It's brilliant, really, because he's not just talking about himself. Some people say, I love dogs. But how does loving dogs relate to premier outdoor living? You need to be able to tie those two together so that your client can see, oh, he loves dogs, and he's really interested and passionate about this outdoor living thing. All right, the next step is to connect your stories. So as you get towards the end of the story, you need to show them how your story is now connected to theirs, which I kind of was just talking about that. But as you are telling your story and how you got to where you're at today as a contractor, now, how does your story connect to the story that's going on in the life of this homeowner, this person who has a dream? This person is in their home dreaming of one day waking up in a beautiful new kitchen, or one day waking up in a beautiful new home that's been custom built, or one day being able to go out on their deck and enjoy this beautiful outdoor living space. Now, how does your story connect to their story? That's step number 5 on this journey of building a Meet the Owner page. Okay, step number 6 is share pictures. So at the bottom of the page, I recommend that you drop a picture or a few pictures of your face, of your family, if you feel comfortable doing that. Anything that will help bridge the gap between you being out there as a vague, unknown owner of a company and me being able to see that you are a real person that I'm able to trust. And that's what these pictures are supposed to do, is bridge that gap. So it doesn't have to be anything you're uncomfortable sharing. But I don't want it to be, I do not ever recommend that you use stock photos on your website. Don't go on Google and pull photos or some other stock photo site and put them on your website. That's just going to ruin the brand that you are developing. Your brand is who you are. And on your Meet the Owner page, you're telling your story and how this story connects to theirs. And so they need to be able to see that you're a real human being. Take care, Jim. Thanks for stopping by for a little bit. Have a good evening. So, share pictures. And then the final point on your Meet the Owner page is to have a call to action. On this particular page, he says, now I'd like to hear your story. So he's shared some pictures and he's connected his story to theirs. And now he says, I'd like to hear your story. Thank you for taking the time to read my story. I hope you can sense my level of commitment to my craft, to my family, and to God. I look forward to soon meeting you and hearing your ideas for inspiration and hopefully realizing your own outdoor dreams. Sincerely, Joe Wilkerson, owner of that. And then you go on down below the last picture and there's a contact us button. So he makes it very easy for people. If they make it to this page and they read it and they trust him, he makes it easy for them to contact him and take the next step to do business with him. Now, this comes from Joe, and he's told me that this year, as a result of this page, he's doing 6 figures in business. I mean, he's won over 6 figures in contracts. He said that he is doing like some really small ads in local, in a local like magazine type thing, and what it does is it leads people back to this website and he says more specifically his Meet the Owner page. So there you have it. That is why I'm passionate about this. And if you're on this show tonight or this live session, or if you're watching the replay later and you want help with your website and you want us to help you, we're running a fall promotion right now, and we're limiting it to 10 contractors. Right now, at this current time, we have 3 seats taken. That leaves 7 seats left. And when they fill up, we're going to shut it down and work with those 10 contractors. So this is a great time to get in. We only run these promotions a couple times a year. And if you are looking for help and you want help with your website from a contractor from a company that understands contracting, because I myself am a contractor. I do woodworking and carpentry and have had my own remodeling business. So I understand it, as well as the whole marketing online world. Anyway, if you're interested, get in now. You can go to protractormedia.com and there's a very long sales page there that will show you all the details. All right, I'm done with the presentation, but I'd be happy to hang out with anyone that is on here tonight. If you have any questions, or you want to just chat, or you want me to take a look at your website, just let me know.